What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorldPodcast. Today we're going to be discussing Week 5 Monday Night Football 2021 in an epic comeback for the Ravens. Now, I do want to point out they ended that rushing record that they had going on for like 43 consecutive 100-yard rushing games. That was ended last night, but I'm going to tell you right now, bro, if you guys are still worried about Lamar Jackson being a running back and all that stuff, we're going to talk about some things that's probably going to change your mindset about Lamar Jackson because, the guy did a lot in this game that kind of showed not only that force to win and the intangibles that's needed to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he showed that he can make the right decision at the right time. Now, I know they were down early, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Carson Wentz, and then we're going to just try to get through this and give you that excitement and that feel that happened last night. Because like I said, a lot of you guys turned the game off when they were down however many points it was. They were down by a lot. Things like this happen in the NFL all the time, but you just got to be there to watch it. And I was able to see everything, and it was wild. So this is what we're going to talk about right now. Carson Wentz did not have a bad game, obviously. 25 of 35, 402 yards. The running game was a little bit lackluster. Jonathan Taylor was very, very good out the backfield, being a running back and everything. They don't really have a lot of offensive weapons. See, this is what happens, and people like to just pass judgment. Carson Wentz, when he's with the Eagles, a lot of the time he was either injured or he didn't have his main players on the field. So he got a lot of flack. Now, he did make some mistakes where you look at it like, what is this guy doing? But I think he's showing us that he's still a formidable quarterback. He's formidable, bro. Like, dude, he's out there doing things that it's not like an average Joe Schmo could go out there and do. Like, he's actually out there balling. And I just want to make sure that I'm clear about this. Carson Wentz has a lot of talent. It's just that sometimes he makes some really, really bad decisions, and then that's all everyone reflects on. The NFL pundits and everybody like that, they just reflect on all the negativity in most aspects, and sometimes that negativity gets driven into the minds of the people that run the teams, and then they just go with it. Because honestly, with the way that the game is, I don't know if the Colts had like better receivers. If they had better receivers right now, I do think the Colts would be a lot better than they are right now, obviously, because if your running back is your number one receiver, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be like that. I understand that in certain cases, people are dual threats. You got CMC, Alvin Kamara, stuff like that. But this shouldn't be the way that it goes. So when you're looking at this comeback, just start to understand he has no one to really go to. Michael Pittman, dude, like, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now, bro. I know he had a touchdown, 6 receptions, 7 targets. Dude, just name me the number one receiver on this team. Before you jump down Carson Wentz's throat about giving up this comeback, you got to look at the defense as well, but it's very hard to defend Lamar Jackson. It's like he's standing in space. They send in 3-man rushes like complete idiots, and they're like, yeah, we're going to sack him. No, you're not. You're not going to do that. But I just want to make sure everybody understands what I'm trying to say. Look at the teams that have talent at certain positions and look at what they do. Tom Brady at 97 years old is doing whatever he wants. Why is he doing that? He has so much talent at skilled positions. Okay, now we could talk about Jalen Hurts and we could say, yeah, he willed the Eagles to win a way that Carson Wentz probably wouldn't have done it, but it's a whole different scheme. I'm telling you right now, the lack of talent at the wide receiver position on a lot of these teams are going to hurt these quarterbacks that many people have questions about. And if they end up winning, it won't last long. Every team that's winning has someone there that they can rely on. Look at Kyler Murray. Look at the guys that are winning right now. Just look at them. Look at Justin Herbert. They got guys that get wide open that you have to pay attention to. They have targets. Look at Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. You got to have a guy like that, bro. A guy. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. You got to have a guy that's there, that's ready to go. And I don't think the Colts have that. I didn't get any fear about any of the wide receivers last night. So when it comes down, when the money's on the table, what are you supposed to do if you're Carson Wentz? You see what I'm saying? Now you got to make plays. You got to do whatever you can, but it's not a lot that you can do in the situation. Now we jump over to Lamar Jackson. 442 yards, 4 touchdowns, 62 rushing yards. I think that they did well with maintaining him as far as a lot of the time he tried to rush or whatever, they were able to get after him. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But if you look at his targets, what do we know about his targets? Marquise Hollywood Brown is garbage. He'll drop wide open passes every now and again, but he's a speedster. That opens up the field. What do we know about his tight end, Mark Andrews? He's a very reliable target. Now, if he, for me, right, if you give Lamar Jackson like Randy Moss, they would just repeat in the Super Bowl every like, it would be disgusting. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and explain, like, Marquise Brown is decent, but he will drop the ball. Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns. Mark Andrews is consistent at tight end, and that's a solid thing to have as a quarterback. But I'm talking like real, like, wide receiver savagery. Like, give him Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, give him T.O., stuff like that. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer what would happen. Because remember, he at quarterback, his top running back last night, Latavius Murray, had 17 yards, bruh. He had 17 yards. What are you doing with that? What are you doing with 17 yards at running back? This is what I'm trying to... he was down by this many points. Look at what they have to work with. You can't make fried chicken out of snail. I don't know what that is, bro. I don't know what the saying is. What is it? What is it? I forgot what the saying is. You guys know what I'm talking about. Almost chicken don't make soup. Like, look, he has to do a lot more than is necessary. That, when you look at other teams, they're not doing as much. So now you got to rely on Marquise Brown. Like, he made an unbelievable catch last night. And sometimes he shows off as being extremely talented. And then sometimes he'll drop a wide open pass and make the game more difficult. So these are the things that he has to deal with. If Lamar Jackson had more consistency at these positions, Mark Andrews has been, like, very, very solid. But I'm talking about the wide receiver core. He would be even better. So now you have to outplay. You got to outplay double, because now you don't know what you're going to get week to week. Next week, Marquise Brown might drop every pass. So that's what I'm saying. We got to start looking at the skill positions that also help the superstar QBs. And then we give them more credit. Tom Brady threw for like 5 touchdowns. Tom Brady has probably the best offensive wide receiver core in the league right now. I would take his wide receiver core over anybody. Everybody that's there. I think he has the best. You give that same core to a lot of these other quarterbacks that are struggling, I think you're going to get the same result. But Lamar Jackson was special. And like I said, to me, I got over that whole thing with the running back situation a long time ago. This man has shown that he is ready to play quarterback in the National Football League for a while. And people still don't give him that credit. And he willed it. He couldn't even talk during his interview. He was all sweaty. Like, bro, he was done. But he gave everything. And that's what he does. He doesn't have that many more years to do that, though. As we get older, like, it's harder to do it. He gave every single thing that he had. And look at the result. Low-key, he could have had 500. He could have had 500 yards, bro. Low-key, he could have threw for 500 yards. And that's what I expect to go, to come of this young man as they're 4-1. I think the Ravens are very, very dangerous. I think we look at the Chiefs now, and a lot of people don't respect them. There's a lot of things going on that can change the atmosphere of what's going to happen in these playoffs. So I can't wait to see what happens, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. The NFL is getting more and more exciting as the weeks goes on, and you guys just keep tuning in and listening to the podcast. Thank you. I'm going to see you guys soon. One love, y'all.